My name is Dr. Russell Friedman, AlternaHealth Solutions, and the president of QSM3. Today I'd like to talk to you about healthcare and the path to getting well. There are many tiers and many things that are going on in healthcare and different ways to look at it. I look at three tiers of the way that people manage their symptoms and take care of themselves. The first one, level one, is where you have some type of pain syndrome, some type of symptom, and that's where the body is actually having a discussion with you. It's trying to get your attention and say, hey, there's something going on. And that is the level where we cover up symptoms. That is the level of suffering. That's the level where we try to diminish the pain. And what do we generally do with that? We take some type of painkiller, or we take some type of prescription medication. And it's very important at this level to understand that it only does one thing, and that it diminishes your pain. But your body is communicating with you. It's trying to tell you that it is in a problematic state. And when it's in a problematic state and it's a low energy state and it can't handle what needs to happen, what are you doing when you take a medication? Well, every medication, whether it's over the counter or it's prescription, is a toxin to the body. So you can't take a system that is in trouble and add something that is toxic or in trouble and think that it's going to bring health. But what it does do is does diminish suffering. So it's a very important thing, as long as people realize that it is not the path to health. The second path is the path of abstinence. You go to many different types of practitioners. Don't do this, don't do that, stay away from this, don't exercise this way, stay away from gluten, don't bend this way, don't bend that way. That is the level of abstinence. So I look at this level as a very important level, because when the body is in trouble, you have to stay away from things. If you got a bad ankle, you shouldn't be jumping on it. So this level is also the level that, imagine that if you have a sunburn, this is a great analogy, is that imagine you have a sunburn and you go in the sun. Well, guess what happens? It hurts. So there's a communication that there's a problem with what? It's not a problem with the sun. The sun is not the problem is with the skin. So when the body is inflamed and the body is in trouble, guess what it's going to do? There's going to be a place where you have to stop doing certain things. Stay away from gluten, stay away from certain exercises, eat this way, don't do this, don't do that, like we said. But that level, just like level one, where you're the suffering level and you're covering it up with some type of toxin, is not a level that will give you health. There is only one level that will give you health, and that is the final level. That is called the empowerment level. And that is where you actually recognize this thing, that the problem, and the analogy of level 2, that the sun is not the problem, it's the host that is the problem. And when we start looking at the body as saying, hey, this is the thing that I have to get healthy, it's the body, the host, the human body, my body that I have to get better, then we actually can achieve health. So we do that in many different ways. We do that with exercise, we do that with nutrition, we do that with detoxification, we do that with neuromuscular therapies, acupunctures, homeopathics, and those kind of things are very in right now. But there is an issue with that, and there's a rule in healthcare that says structure dictates function. Structure dictates function. Not function dictates structure. So if you have a structural issue, it's going to affect the function. What does that mean? If your heart valve is bad, guess what's going to happen? The heart's not going to function properly. If you have a carburetor that's bad in your car, the car is not going to function properly. So structure dictates function. So if you had a bad valve in your heart, you wouldn't take some type of nutritional support and it would resolve the issue. So the path of the third level, which is empowerment, is you have to fix the structure. So the largest structural stress and the largest stress to the human body and its structure is what? It's gravity. So what we say in the office is gravity has nothing on gluten. So the human body is made to stand straight. It's made to stand balanced. And when it stands balanced, it's able to support itself against gravity. When it goes off center from traumas, birthing, car accidents, athletic falls, many different accidents that we have through our life. The body gets damaged, it goes off center, and it tries to support itself, and it can't. And what happens? We slowly squash. The first thing that happens is we get muscle pain, because the body is trying to hold itself upright. Imagine carrying a suitcase to the terminal. You have to switch your hands a bunch of times, because the first thing that happens is muscle pain. Then we have disc degeneration, nerve compression, and we take the whole body, the heart, the lungs, the organs, every cell in the body is compressing. And our job at AlternaHealth Solutions is to restore the three-dimensional balance of the body to center. It is the most important, foundational, causative thing that you can do for your health. And QSM3, Quantum Spinal Mechanics 3, is the only system, not just in chiropractic, it's the only system in all of healthcare that actually looks to restore the whole human body to three-dimensional balance, so that you can support yourself against gravity, so that the disc spaces are open and they're not being compressed in osteoarthritis, that the body is not compressing the heart and lungs as blood pressure goes up, neck pain, back pain. Restore the body, empower the body, and QSM3 is the only system that does that. Thank you for joining me today.